Okay, today I will be discussing the 2015 past paper. So first of all, I'll discuss the part 1A part. So here you have altogether 30 questions, you have to answer all. So the first one they have asked you to express 2000 meters in kilometers. That you already know, 2000 kilometers means 2 kilometers. And the second one, it says solve. Here what you have to do is you have to find the value of x. So simply you can divide 20 by 5, that is x equal to 4. Next you have simplify, you have 5a multiplied by a cube. So here what you have to do is you write this number as it is 5, then you have the same base, a into a to the power 3. So here we consider this as a to the power 1. So when you multiply a number with the same base, the powers get added. Therefore you have 5a to the power 4. The fourth question, it says find 60% of 20 rupees. Now what do you mean by 60% of 20 rupees? Now out of 20 rupees, you have to find what is 60%. That is 60% refers to out, if we take 100, out of that 60 is the one we are looking at. So here we have to write it this way. If 60 is for 100 means how much for 20 rupees? So you can simplify, cut this, and then you have finally 12 rupees. And the fifth question, it says if a is a set, it says integer multiples of 2 and b is a set of integer multiples of 3, then write down one element of a intersection b. The intersection means you have to find the common terms. Now they have asked you just one common element now. So you know a is a set containing all the multiples of 2 and b contains all the multiples of 3. So think of the multiples. So for a, set a, you have multiples of 2 means 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. Multiples of 3 starts with 3, 6, 9, 12 and so on. Now there are some common terms. Out of this you just have to write 1. Let me take 6. Therefore a intersection b will give me 6. So easy. And the next one, sixth question, they have asked you to write down 101 to the base 2. You have to change it into base 10. How do you change? Okay, you consider it this way. You would consider the first number as 2 to the power 0, this as 2 to the power 1, this as 2 to the power 2. You start from 2 to the power 0 and then so on you write. Now what is 2 to the power 0? It is also 1. And then you have 2 to the power 1, that is equal to 2. And then you have here 2 to the power 2 is equal to 4, and then you multiply by the relevant number. So 1 multiplied by 1 will give you 1. And then you have here 0, so 2 multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. Then you have 4 multiplied by 1, that is equal to 4. So altogether you have 5 to the base 10. So simple. So let us move on to the seventh one. Seventh one, they have given you an equation, and then they are asking you to make P the subject. Okay. Now look at this equation. Now you have both the left hand side and the right hand side. Now you have to make P the subject, right? Okay. So what you have to do is P is with this Q. It is combined. Keep this PQ and move all the other terms to the other side of the equation. So you have just the minus R. So let us write PQ, and when you move minus R to the other side of the equation, you will get plus R. Okay, now you have PQ is equal to U plus R. So you need what? You need P. Therefore you have to remove q is multiplied, therefore in order to remove it you divide both sides by q, therefore you have p equals u plus r divided by q. So what is the 8th question? They have asked you to simplify. This is easy. A log question. They have said log of 9 to the base 3. You have to get the answer. How do we find out? You have to check 3 to the power what number will give you 9. How much is it? 3 to the power 2. Therefore answer is 2. Okay, moving on to the 9th question. They have said find the time taken by a vehicle traveling at a uniform speed of 100 kilometers per hour to travel a distance of 25 kilometers. Okay, here what you have to do is you should know the equation. What is the equation relating speed and distance and time? So you have speed is equal to distance divided by time. So what is the speed given here? Speed given here is 100 kilometers per hour. What is the distance? So you have, they are covering a distance of 25 kilometers. You have to find the time. Okay, so you make this as the subject. Bring t to the left hand side. T will be on the numerator. So here you have 25 kilometers divided by 100 kilometers per hour. So kilometer and kilometer will cancel off. So you have h to the power minus 1 here. When you take it up, it becomes plus 1. So you have time. 25 means 104 of an hour. Now an hour has how many minutes? 1 hour has 60 minutes. So in this case you have to divide 60 minutes by 4. Quarter of an hour. How much is it? 15 minutes. So it's easy. Okay, moving on to the next question, 10th one. They have said if the sum of two interior angles of a triangle is 100, write down the magnitude of the remaining interior angle in degrees. That's easy. You know, in a triangle, total angle will give you 180 degrees. Therefore, if two of the degrees, the sum is equal to 100 means, what is the third degree? 180 minus 100. So you have 80 degrees. Okay, moving on to the next question. The profit made by a company on Sunday is 20% more than the profit made on Monday. Okay, on Monday, this person is making a profit of 8,000 rupees. Okay, but on Sunday, this person is making 20% more than on Monday. So do you get the question? Okay, 20% more than on Monday. So you have to find out how much did he get on Monday. There are two ways to solve this. One, you can find out what is that 20% and then you can add it with 8,000. Or else you can directly find out the value. How do we find out? Okay, first I will show you how to find that 20%. This is the way. You say it like the way I'm saying you. If 20 is for 100 means how much is for 8,000. So when you solve this, how much do you get? 8 times 2, 16. You have 2 zeros. This is in rupees. So this is the 20% amount. So you have to add this 20% with this 8,000. So how much is it in total? 1,600 plus this 9,600. Or else you can directly find out saying, now if it is 20%, only the profit means for 100 how much will the profit be with the amount? It should be 120. So 120 with the profit, if it is 120 for 100 means how much for 8,000. So we cut this. How much is that? Did I make a mistake? Sorry. There are 2 zeros. Okay. So 2 zeros, and then 12 times 8 is 96. So you get the answer directly. Okay, moving on to the 12th question. They have asked you to find the LCM of two algebraic expressions. That is, they have given x and x plus 2, and the other term is x squared. Now in this, first you have to consider whether you have similar terms. Now you have this x and x squared. That is, this x has x to the power 1 and you have here x to the power 2. In this case, what you have to do is you have to consider the similar term. You have to consider similar terms containing the highest power. Therefore, you have to take x squared out. You have to consider only this x squared. You gotta leave this x and then take the remaining terms. You have x plus 2 only. This is the LCM. And then moving on to the 13th one, they have asked you to find the factors of x squared plus 3x minus 10. How do we solve this? First multiply. The coefficient of x squared is 1, so you have minus 10. Write all the factors. So I'll directly write it. So you can take as plus 5x into minus 2x. So adding these two will give you plus 3x. And then finally you have plus minus 10. So taking the common term out, x is out, x plus 5 is left, and the common term here is minus 2, x and plus 5 is left. So what are the common terms? You have x plus 5 out and then x minus 2 left. That is done. And the 14th one, they are saying you that there are two events, A and B are mutually exclusive. You gotta find probability of A union, complement of A union B. So when they say mutually exclusive, that means they are apart. So probability of A and both are same. They have given 1/5. Even B the same. So in order to find the probability of A union B in exclusive events, you gotta add both. So you have 1/5 plus 1/5. That will give you 2/5. Now they have asked here about the complement, right? So you gotta subtract from 1. So the probability of complement of A union B will give you 3/5. Moving on to the 15th one. Here they have said for the first 500,000 the income tax is free, and then thereafter for each 500,000 4% income tax is charged. So person who is having 600,000, how much will the tax be charged? Now the person is having a tax of 600,000, right? Okay. From this, for the first 500,000 he gets no tax. Therefore you got to subtract from 600,000 you got to subtract 500,000. So the balance is just 100,000. The tax will be charged only for this amount. So let us find the tax. It is just 4%. So 4 is for 100 means how much is the tax for 100,000? So how much is it? 4 and 3 0. It's 4,000. Okay, moving on to the next one, 16th. It's about compound interest. They say it's 10%. You have to find the total amount of money at the end of 2 years. The person is just depositing only 100 rupees. Now when they say compound interest, the interest rate for the first year and the second year will differ. That is, during the second year, they would calculate the interest rate depending on the total money you have at the end of the first year. That is okay. I'll show you this way. Now say we are going to find out the total money with the interest after the first year. How do we find out? If it is 10% interest means you should write 110 over 100 into what is the total amount he is depositing? 100 rupees. Okay. So how much? He is having a total money of 110. That is 100 rupee was the deposited amount and 10 rupees was the interest amount. Okay, now this is during the first year. Now to find the amount, you have to find the total amount. Okay, so in order to find the total amount at the second year, you just cannot multiply this 10 by 2 and take 20. The interest rate, the amount is different. Now, so how do we find out? This is the way. The interest rate is always same, 110 over 100, that is 110 is for 100 means what will be the amount after the second year, but you should write the amount after the first year. How much do you have total in the bank after the first year? What is the total in the bank with the interest? So you have altogether 110. This is the way of solving. So how much is this? 11 into 11. So 122 rupees. This is the total amount. So what about the next one? The 17th one. This looks easy. Okay. They have said altogether there are three terms of a geometric progression. The first term is not said. Let us say x. Second term and the third term they have given as 6 and 18. First you have to find the common ratio. How do we find the common ratio? R. You got to divide the right hand side term by the left hand side term. So 18 divided by 6, common ratio is 3. So you follow the same thing here and find the first term. So here you have Roman number 2, they are asking you to find the first term. So you follow the same method. Divide the right hand side. So always the common ratio will be same, right? So therefore you divide 6 by the first term, the left hand side term, x, that is equal to 3, because the common ratio is always 3 in this expression. So now you got to find how much is x? 2. First term is 2. So you can write a is equal to 2. Okay. So the 18th one. You got the inequality to solve. You have 1 minus 2x, that is lesser than or equal to 7. How do you solve this? Okay, you got to find out how the values for x, right? So you have a 1 here. Let us put that 1 to the other side. So it will be 7 minus 1 is equal to 6. Okay, now you have a minus 2 here. Listen carefully. Now when you have a minus 2, how do we get rid of this minus 2? You got to divide both sides of the equation, the inequality, by minus 2. So listen carefully. When you divide by minus 2, there is a small change. Listen. The change is when you divide or multiply by a minus sign, the inequality sign will change. That means, say you divide minus 2 by minus 2, the answer will be plus 1. Therefore, you have x on the left hand side and the inequality sign will be facing this side now. Now on the right hand side you have plus divided by minus will give you minus 3. So these are the values. This is the way of solving. Then moving on to the 19th one. Okay, they have given you an equation, that is y equals 2x plus c, and they are also saying you that it goes through the points 1 and 5. They are asking you to find the value of c. So this is easy. Now since this line passes through these points, you can substitute the value of x and y in this equation. Now say y, this is x, this is y. So I will substitute y is equal to 5. 2 times 1 is 2 plus c. So you have c is equal to 3. It's so easy. Okay. Moving on to the 20th one. Here they have given you a diagram. Let me draw the diagram first. They have given you a diagram where there are two parallel lines. also you have a line here also. These two are also parallel, and they have marked G, F, E, D, B and so on. Also they have said these two sides are equal. Those are the two things they have marked, and they have given this angle as 20. Therefore the first thing we can mark is that if this is 20, now this is an isosceles triangle. So if this is 20, total angle should be 180. So from 180, if you subtract 20, this plus this will give you 160. Therefore this is 80, this is 80. Now this is a parallel line. What can you say about this angle and this angle? Okay, sorry, this side. Okay, this angle and this angle, both should be same. Okay, corresponding angles. You have the F shape, this and this. Okay, this 80, this is 80, this is 80. Therefore here you have a vertical opposite angle here. If this is 80, this also should be 80. Our X is here. Okay, now you have 80 here, X here. Now considering this triangle, you need one more angle here to find the value of X. How do you get that angle? Okay, these two are parallel, right? These two lines, and you can see a line intersecting them. So what can you say about this 20 and this 20? This angle, both will be same. What is the reason? It is alternate angles. Therefore you have 20 here, 80 here. What will be the value of X? We just got to add all. 20, 80 plus X will give you 180 degrees. So X is equal to 80 degrees. Okay. And then moving on to the 21st question. Here it's about matrices. Here you have -1. The first matrix given is X, Y. You have plus 3, 2 and then 0, X. That is equal to, they have given you 2 multiplied by a matrix given inside square brackets. So straight away I will multiply and then write the answer. Now when a matrix is multiplied by a number in front, you got to multiply each of the elements by the number in front. That means to solve this, when you solve this, you will be getting this answer. You got to multiply each of these elements. 2 into 1 will give you 2. This is 2. 2 times 2 will give you 4. 12. Okay. Now this looks like an equation mark. Each of these elements should be equal. That is -1 plus 3 is equal to 2, isn't it? Yes. 0 plus 2 is equal to 2. So here you have X. Okay, we'll write down these equations. Where you have X and Y, let us write down the equation. Here you have X. X plus 0. X plus 0. What is the value here? You have 4. Okay, moving on to the right hand side, you have Y plus X. Plus X is equal to 12. Okay, now using this equation, you know that X is equal to 4. So since X is equal to 4, Y is equal to 8. This is simple. Okay. Okay, 22nd question. They have said, they have given you a cone. They have given you a cone. Then they are saying you the circumference of the base of a cone is 16 pi centimeters. That is, when you take only the circumference, when you take only the base, the total circumference given is 16 pi centimeters. Now you got to find out how much is the radius. That is the first question. How do we find the radius? Okay. Circumference means 2 pi r. 2 pi r is equal to 6 pi centimeters. So you have to find out how much is this r. So we can cut this pi. Let us make r the subject. So r is equal to 6 divided by 2 centimeters. R is equal to 3 centimeters. Now you have found out R. That is here. You know R. What are they saying? Part 2, they have said the perpendicular height. You have to find the perpendicular height if the slant height is 10 centimeters. Slant height is 10 centimeters. You have to find the perpendicular height. What is this angle here? It is 90. Therefore, you can use Pythagoras theorem. So you can say this is r is equal to 3 centimeters. You have to find out this. So 3 squared, what will be the answer? Y will be equal to 6 squared. Sorry, 6 centimeters. Okay. Okay. Let us move on to the 23rd question. Here you have to use using the knowledge of equiangular triangles. You have to find the value of x. Okay. Let me draw the diagram. Okay, this is given as 6 centimeter, 4 centimeter. Only one angle is given, that is 35. Here x is given, 35 is given here, and then 5 centimeter is given here. Now consider both triangles. Let us say this as A, this as B. A is the bigger one. Now using equiangular triangles, you can write the corresponding sides. Now taking the larger triangle, you have 35 degrees here. Let us consider the larger triangle first. In front of this 35 degrees, what is the value you have? What is the length of the side you have? X. So let us write x. Over, go to the same angle of the smaller triangle. What is the length of the side in front of it? 6. Okay. Now, if you take the larger triangle, you have only one information given here. They have not said anything about this angle, this angle. They have given you only this length. Therefore, let us write the total length, that is equal to 10 centimeters. And then taking the smaller triangle, what is the other side given? Only this 5. Therefore, let us write this 5 and then solve. How much will x be? You have 6, 10 divided by 5, 12. So you have 12 centimeters. And then moving on to the 24th question. They have said write down an expression in terms of n for the sum of the first n terms. For the first n terms of a geometric progression whose first term is n and the common ratio. First term is n, 1, and the common ratio is 2. Now how do we solve this? Okay, you need not solve anything here. You know, for the sum of the geometric progression, you have an equation, that is Sn equals a and within bracket r squared minus 1 and divided by r minus 1. Now you got to substitute all the values here. So what is our first term? You have 1 r squared. R squared means r is equal to 2. 2 squared minus 1. Here you have 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Therefore Sn is equal to 2 to the power 2 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. That's all. Okay, and then moving on to let us move on to the 25th question. Here they have said they have given you a small fact, that is sine 30 is equal to half. Using this you have to solve the rest. First you have to find the value of x. This is the diagram given. Let me draw the diagram first. Here you have x centimeter. This side you have 12 centimeter. Here you have 30. This is B, C. They have marked A here, D here. This is theta. And 8 centimeters. Now in order to find this x, let me take this triangle. Let me apply sine 30 to this triangle. So you have sine 30 is equal to, how do you describe sine theta? Opposite over hypotenuse. So you have opposite is equal to x centimeters, hypotenuse is equal to 12 centimeters. So sine 30 you know already, they have given sine 30 is equal to half. So x centimeter over 12 centimeters. So in order to find x, you got to bring 12 here, multiply 12 divided by 2 is equal to 6 centimeters. Okay, now you know x. How do we find second part? They are asking you to find tan theta. Tan theta, of course it is easy. Tan theta will give you, tan is adjacent, opposite over adjacent. So you have opposite, how much is x? X is 6 centimeters. Adjacent, it's 8 centimeters. Therefore you can simplify it further. Tan theta is equal to 3 over 4. That's all.
Okay, the 26th question, they have given you an expansion. They have said they have given you considering the expansion of for this you should know this expansion. Okay, and they have given you as a full expansion. You have to find the value using this. Okay, this is the way. Now when we expand this, what is the answer you get? Okay, this is the way of writing. Now this one is positive, one is negative. Therefore in our answers when we expand, we'll be getting the first one as positive and then negative, positive, negative, and so on. Okay, so the first one is positive. So here you have negative. You put the 3 sign. Take any of the square term. I'll take x squared and write as the same y. Okay, now since we are taking this as minus y, now here, now I considered it as just y. Now that is the reason is this minus, we considered it as the minus, but this minus is in front. Therefore you just write the y. Next we'll go to plus. Now you have 3, same way. Now you take the minus y squared. Therefore it will become plus. That is why we get a plus here. So I'll write it this way. Y squared into x plus, now again you get minus what cube? Y cube. Okay, this is the way of expanding. So in our question also, the expansion is given in numbers and in front they have given 2. Therefore you can write it as 2. What is the number given? They have expanded 24 to the power 3. Therefore 24 minus, it should be minus because you have minus terms. What is the other number? It's 4. Whole thing cube. Now what is the answer? 24 minus 4, that is 20. You know the value. Therefore now you should find 20 cube. How much is 20 cube? 20 squared is 400. It's 8,000. Therefore the answer is 16,000. Okay. Then the 27th question. Here they have given you a diagram and they have said about a tangent. A tangent is drawn. Here you should know few theorems. Okay, this is the circle. Let's say they have given you a cyclic quadrilateral inside. Yeah, it's this way. Okay, this is the cyclic quadrilateral. They have marked 45 here, 45, and this is 25. They have said Q, P, R, and S. Those are the angles marked. This is the tangent from the external point. This is the tangent from T, and they have drawn this line to the tangent. Let us call the tangent here. This is T, so this is S. Okay. Now you know angles subtended by the same segment will give you the same values. So if this is 25 using this segment, if this is 25, this also should be 25. Also you can say, if you consider this side, this segment, this is 45 in the sense means this also should be 45. Now this is 45 and 25 will give you 70. This total is 70. Therefore this should be how much? Both should be, the sum should be supplementary angles. Therefore it is 110 here. This side should be 70. Okay, there is a theorem for this. This angle should be equal to the angle, the opposite angle. Okay, so this is 70. Now this is x Now this is a triangle, right? So you know x 70, you should find this angle. Okay, now here there is a theorem. What is the theorem? You can find this angle using the theorem. That is, the tangent is drawn here, right? Okay, from the tangent there is a line, a segment drawn here, this segment. Okay, this value, the angle with the tangent, is equal to the angle formed in the opposite tangent, that is 45. This angle is equal to 45. Now you can find x. How much is x? 70 plus 45 degrees plus x is equal to 180. Therefore 115 plus x is equal to 180. Therefore x is equal to 65. Okay. 28th question. Here it's about they have said surface area of a solid sphere is of radius 2 centimeter is a centimeter squared. They have given you certain values, and then finally within bracket they have given you the equation. What is the surface area of a solid sphere? Okay, what is the equation they have given? Okay, they have said 4 pi r squared. Okay, this is the equation to find the surface area of a sphere. This value is given as, how much is it in the question? It is given as a centimeter squared. Now you know radius there. Radius is 2. Therefore let us substitute. 4 pi 2 into 2 is 4 a centimeter and centimeter will cancel off. Therefore you have a here. This is a. And then you got to find out how much is this a. Therefore a is equal to 4 times 4 16 pi. The same thing we do it with the other one. What is the other one? The area of the curved surface of a solid cylinder. The equation is given as 2 pi r h. The value is given as b. Is it b? Yes. They have said radius and height both are equal to 2 centimeters. So let us substitute 2 pi. This is also 2. 2 into 2 is 4. That is b. So finally b is equal to 8 pi. Finally what do you have to find out? The ratio of a over b. How much is a? 16 pi. This is 8 pi. So answer is 2. Okay. The 29th question, let me draw the diagram first. This is the diagram given. There is a triangle. It has the midpoint theorem. This is divided into two equal parts. This and this are equal. That is the data given. Also this is parallel to this. These two are equal. This is AB, this is C, and you have G here. Okay. One data they have given is that ABC, triangle ABC is equal to twice the area of BCG. So you can write this as ABC is equal to, if you divide the area, twice the area of BCG. Okay. BCD. Okay. Now you have to finally find the ratio of the triangle CFG to triangle BEG. Okay. Now first of all, let us take CFG. Now you can build a relationship. CFG is equal to, now take this triangle. If you consider this triangle, this is the midpoint, also this is parallel to this. Therefore these two are also equal. Okay. Therefore you can say, also you can say this area, the area of the triangle CFG is equal to 1/4 of this whole triangle. Therefore you can say CFG is equal to 1/4 of ABC. Okay. Now let us build a relationship using BEG. Now you have to somehow form a relationship of BEG, bringing it relating to ABC. Okay. Now let me write BEG. triangle BEG is equal to half the area of BGD. Why? BEG is equal to half the area of, because now see, these two are equal and also it has the same height. Normally, how do we find the area of a triangle? Half into base into height. Base and height are the only two requirements you need. Therefore, both are equal here. These two are equal. Therefore, you can write it this way. Also, you can say BGD. How do you relate BGD? BGD is here. If you take BCD, how can you relate it to BCD? You can say that, now look here, these two bases are equal and they have the same height. Triangles formed on the same height. Therefore, you can say BGD is equal to half the area of BCD. So, you have 1/4 of BCD. That is BEG. Okay, now finally we will relate this to ABC. That is the data given. Therefore, you can say BEG is equal to 1/4. I'll write 1/4. Now, how do you write BCD? BCD, the BCD is already given, is equal to half the area of ABC. Half the area of ABC. Now you have BEG is equal to 1/8 of ABC. Okay, now you have a relationship here. Now let us find ratio of CFG to ratio of BEG. Okay, this is 1/4 of ABC and this side you have 1/8 of ABC. So cancel off ABC. You have 1/4 and 1/8. Multiply both sides by 8. Then you have 2:1. That is the answer. Okay. Final question, 30th one. It looks easy, okay? In the triangle ABC, they have given you the triangle ABC. Draw a sketch of the construction lines required to locate the point D on AB. The point D should be on AB such that it is always equal to DB is equal to DC. That means the point D should be somewhere on AB. It may be here anywhere, but always it should have an equal distance with C and B. How do we find the point? Okay, that is this way. Now you should have an equal distance now. Now let us bisect BC line. Keep the compass here. Make an arc. Now bisect this. Okay, now this is bisected. Now throughout this line, wherever you place the dot, it will have equal distance between B and C. Now the point should lie on AB. So where is the point? This is the only possible point. So that's all.